In the first video, we talked about some important milestones in Philip Glass's life. In the second video, we analyzed the characteristics of his musical style. And the third episode will be devoted to various quotes and anecdotes taken from his autobiography. There will be shed light on his activity as a composer, on his mindsets, and also simply on life. And let's start with the quote, which is, I would say, unexpected.
Never sleep with a woman whose troubles are worse than your own.
Regarding the skills necessary for a composer.
Bach's keyboard music was my syllabus. Being able to write well for string instruments was high on my list of skills that I needed to acquire. I borrowed a violin from the school and began to take violin lessons. Like the voice, string writing is a study of a lifetime. My study of the orchestra came through a time-honored practice of the past, but not much used today, copying out original scores. In my case, I took the Mahler Ninth as my subject and I literally copied it out note for note on full-sized orchestra paper. The business of copying from the past is a most powerful tool for training and developing a solid orchestration technique.
About being an artist, composer, and interpret.
For me, performing music is an essential part of the experience of composing. That we would become interpreters ourselves was part of our rebellion. The activity of the listener is to listen, but it is also the activity of the composer and the performer. The performer must be listening to what he's playing, and this is far from automatic. The moment of creativity is actually every moment. The best case situation is that I'm playing and I'm almost hearing what I'm about to play. It's like a shadow that precedes the object rather than follows it.
And what about critics and criticism?
Luckily, I have a wonderful gene, the I don't care what you think gene, and to this day, I still don't care. What I'm interested in are my own abilities to think of things, to express, to use a musical language, to make it listenable. I have always felt there was a public that would like this music, and over time, the audiences, so small in the beginning, have only gotten larger.
And very important, about music business.
Ornette Coleman gave me a piece of advice that I have pondered ever since. He said, "Don't forget, Philip, the music world and the music business are not the same." I learned that he was absolutely right, but I really liked both and had no problem in being active in both of them as far as time allowed. She motioned to me to lean down so that she could talk to me. "The copyrights," she whispered. "What?" "The copyrights." She wanted to make sure I still owned my work. I had risen from obscurity in the music world into somebody who had compositions that had monetary value. She wanted just to make sure that I was taking care of it. I was very aware at that point that the ownership of the music was mine. It didn't belong to a publisher or to anyone else. As I told my mother on her deathbed, I never gave copyrights away. Later, working on film music, it turned out not to always be true.
And finally, different thoughts on music.
I quickly learned that young dancers are always in need of new music, and I eagerly began writing for them. Look at the history of music. The big changes came in the opera house. It happened with Monteverdi, Mozart, Wagner, Stravinsky. Teaching is the beginning of acquiring. In time, I would present concerts in museums, and in this way, my music became part of the art world. The high concept of art is language. Music and science have been my great loves. I see scientists as visionaries, as poets. What interests me is how similar these visionaries' way of seeing is to that of the artist. What I have to do when I compose is not that different. All I have to do after I have the vision is to find the language of music to describe what I have heard, which can take a certain amount of time. I've been working on the language of music all my life, and it's within that language that I've learned how ideas can unfold. A particular piece has zero existence until the moment of its creation. Therefore, the question comes back to, can I describe what I heard? I'm not thinking about music, I'm thinking music. The music is the thought. The modality in which the brain is operating is music. I have to find the music from music itself. When someone asks, how do you write music for a film? I answer, I look at the film and I write down the music. I don't make the music to go with the film. I write the music that is in the film.
Thank you very much for watching this video series on the composer Philip Glass. I would like to thank Tony Warden for lending his voice for the quotes taken from the autobiography Words Without Music. Thank you for liking, sharing and commenting as a token of your appreciation. For supporting my work and getting my musical scores, all the details are in the description. I'll see you soon again, and in the meantime, good sharing of your talent.